Jai Gurudev, everyone. Namaste, and welcome to this introductory session on mantra chanting. I can see a lot of familiar faces. So, namaste to everyone. Swami Sadhguru ji, Jyotirmaya ji, Jai Gurudev. So, when I was asked to do this introductory session, it's something that's really close to my heart, and it's something that I love doing. And I can see many people whom I've met at different points in my journey through life. And I'm sure you would have seen me doing some chanting somewhere. As far as I know, this session is also being translated, and all those screens at the start showed you how to join into the correct language. So before starting any Zoom session, there's always one mantra to chant, and that is, am I audible? Great. Are the translators audible in the respective channels? Okay, great. So when we hear about the word mantra, the question comes, what is a mantra? Who should chant a mantra? What kind of mantras to chant? Why should I chant a mantra? So today's session is about exploring all these aspects of mantra. Swamiji Jyotirmaya ji, in case you want me to address anything else, please also let me know. And of course, there will be time for question and answers. So this is broadly the format of what we are going to be doing today. And feel free to put your questions on the chat. I will also have some time for people to unmute and ask questions towards the end of the session. But this is broadly the format of what we're going to do. So, since this is a mantra chanting session, an introduction to mantras, let's chant with a mantra that all of us definitely would have chanted sometime or the other, and that's Om. So, let's chant Om 3 times. Let's take a deep breath in, eyes closed. Om. Breathe in. Om. Breathe in. Om. Slowly and gradually, if our eyes are closed, we may open our eyes. So let's start with the question, what does mantra really mean? In Sanskrit, the word mantra is defined as mananat trayate iti mantra. Manana, which means a repetitive nature of thoughts. Trayate, that which saves us. Mananat trayate iti mantra. This is a mantra. So, what is a mantra? It is something that saves us from the repetitive nature of the mind. The mind has a tendency to go on and on doing the same thing. A worry is a thought repeated many times. So many times, recognition is just because I have experienced something before and I connect it with something I've experienced before. So, repetition is the nature of the mind. You will tell me, Kashi Bhaiya, you are repeating yourself. That is exactly what I wanted to illustrate. So, when there is a repetitive nature of the mind, is there a solution? And the rishis said, yes, and they called it a mantra. Now, mantras are of various types. There are some mantras that are for meditation. Many of us who have experienced the Sahaj Samadhi course would already have experienced the power of a meditation mantra. There are mantras that are for chanting, japa, repetition. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. There are so many mantras, the Gayatri mantra, if you have done the Upanayana. All of these are japa mantras. So these are supposed to be repeated. And in the process of repetition, something happens. Then there are mantras which are called the Veda mantra. These are for chanting. Now, the sound has an impact on the mind. I say something nice and we feel happy. We hear something not so pleasant and it changes the state of our mind. Sound has a great ability to change the state of our mind. In fact, even if the words don't make sense, some music makes you feel happy, music makes you feel emotional, some music puts us to sleep. So even if we don't understand the sound, the property of the vibration itself has an impact on the mind. And this is what the power of vibration that our ancient rishis harnessed and gave it to us as mantra. Now, when there are so many thoughts running around, there are so many sounds running around, it is so difficult to pinpoint what sound is creating what effect. When our mind is already mm, uh, very active, 100 thoughts coming up all the time, then it's very difficult to figure out the effect of one particular sound. But when you go deep in meditation, when the mind settles down, then it's so much more easier to research on the impact of sound on the mind. And that is what our ancient rishis did. They sat and meditated and cognized the impact of various sounds, various vibrations, and they gave it to us as a mantra. So some mantras are called shlokas, like the Bhagavad Gita, the Devi Kavacham, Lalita Sahasranam. All of these are chants that don't need a particular rhythm. They can be chanted in many ways. They can be set to music. And there are some, like the Veda mantra, like Rudram, Ganapati Atharvashir, etc. These have to be chanted in a particular cadence, in a particular rhythm. And it is this rhythm that makes the power of the mantra. That is why when we want to learn mantras, different mantras require a different kind of mm, expertise. There are some mantras you can learn just by listening to them. And even if you make a mistake in the intonation, you can still get away with it. But there are some mantras where changing the intonation can change the meaning completely. The first time I went uh, to Taiwan, Malaysia, I think it was Taiwan, and I asked my I asked my hosts to teach me some Chinese, and they taught me some simple phrases. But the moment I said those phrases, in my mind, I was saying the same thing. Yet my hosts started laughing. They said, because you changed the intonation, it meant something completely different. That's when I realized that in language, intonation plays such a major role. For example, intonation plays such a major role. Intonation plays such a major role. Though I said the same sentence in different ways, it created a different impact. One was a question, the other was a statement. So, in this way, depending on the mantra, the expertise to teach it also changes. And the impact of chanting it properly becomes so much more powerful. For example, if it was about riding a bicycle, then it requires less knowledge of moving parts. But if you need to drive your car, you need to know a little different. But if you need to fly a plane, you need to have really a different set of knowledge. So the more powerful the transport, the more specific the learning that goes behind the ability to utilize that transport. In the same way, with mantra too, there are different types of mantras. Some mantras don't need any learning, but for some mantras, it's the expertise in chanting it properly that brings the benefits of the mantra. So, this is a fairly short overview of the different types of mantras, what goes into chanting a mantra. And I'm so happy that we are now getting the opportunity. What used to happen only in India, now we are opening it up for the whole world, and everyone is getting a chance to be able to learn it properly from an expert. Not only learn the mantra, but also learn a little bit about the philosophical basis. What does Gurudev say about some of these things? What kind of knowledge sheets relate to the knowledge that is enshrined in these mantras? So, all of these we are getting an opportunity to learn. And I'm so happy that uh, we are putting together these sessions, and I'm looking forward to hosting some of these sessions. And I mean, this is my passions, as you can all see. So This was a little short overview about the mantra. Now the floor is open for questions. I'm sure maybe there are already some questions that people have sent before. And if someone wants to, one of the hosts wants to uh, read out the questions, then I'm happy to look for answers. See if we can explore some answers. Please post your questions here. Perfect. Okay, I can already see someone has sent me a question personally. Is initiation needed for all mantras? Not necessary. There are some mantras which need initiation. There are some which are called shlokas, and these don't need initiation. So, but to know which one needs initiation and which one doesn't, that is where some expertise is required. That's why going to a teacher helps you to uh, figure out the right way of experiencing a mantra. Now, when we say initiation, what does it really mean? Traditionally, someone who had chanted a mantra for sufficient enough time that the mantra, the vibrations of the mantra get imbibed in the consciousness. All vibrations are there, but when we imbibe certain vibrations, then we're able to bring forth those vibrations. Like a lit candle can light other candles. If a candle is not lit, then there is no way it can light other candles. So that's why the ancient rishis said, if you're once you gain the eligibility to teach others, then you teach others. It's like if I go to first grade and learn the alphabets, I don't gain the ability to teach others the alphabets. But once I complete school, once I complete my college, I learn how to teach alphabets. That's when I become a school teacher and teach others alphabets. So, in the same way, just learning a mantra does not give us the eligibility to pass on the mantra. Getting a surgery done does not make us eligible to do surgery on others. In the same way, for mantra, some need initiation. So, what are the mantras that we'll be looking at? We'll start with some things which are easy for everyone to start with. You know, when you want to go to the advanced yoga postures, you start with the simpler ones first. When you want to go to the gym and start lifting heavier weights, you start with lighter weights first and then slowly progress onto that. So I'm so happy to share that we've built a really beautiful progression of how we can start with something simpler and then move on to something much more powerful. So all of this will get unveiled as time passes by.
Thank you, Kashiji. The one more question we have is because of this, the planetary effect, what's going on, and there are 9 planets, and do we need to chant each mantra for each planet, or there is something like Maha Mantra which we can chant and get over all the malefacts of the of other planets as well?
Actually, there is one mantra which is the mantra of all mantras, and it's called Jai Gurudev. If you just say Jai Gurudev and that's it, everything else is taken care of. That being said, of course, Jyotish will tell you for this planet do this, for this planet do this. Someone asked Gurudev, what is your view of astrology, of Jyotish? And Gurudev said, Jyotish is a science, but not all astrologers are scientists. So it's very easy to get caught up in all these things. And that's why through the Jyotish Vastu Academy, I think Gurudev has brought forth the purity of this knowledge, which is such a beautiful thing. But of course, that's another thing. What we're focusing here is on the different types of mantras and how we can learn to chant them in a very proper method, and not only chant it, but also appreciate the essence behind the chanting. Let me give you a very simple example. Kamalanayan is a phrase that's used to indicate that someone is very beautiful. Someone's eyes are very beautiful. But if you actually think someone has eyes and you replace the eye with a lotus, then it'll look very out something out of a horror movie. So, though it is said Kamalanayan, though it is said lotus-eyed, yet the essence of it, what does lotus eye really mean? Lotus or the Padma signifies blossoming, and one whose vision has blossomed, that is what Kamalanan literally means. So one who can look at the universe and see the universe with a blossomed vision, that is what the word really means. So just imagine if you kept thinking of a mantra and you attributed the meaning in the literal sense, it would make no sense at all. But when you give the essence of the mean of the mantra, then the whole mantra comes alive. And that's what Gurudev has done so beautifully with our mantras, which is what we're going to be doing in these sessions.
Thank you.
How do I go ahead, go ahead. Yeah. Please choose the questions and ask me.
Thank you, Swami Kaushik ji. Swamiji, is that true that the Gayatri mantra should not be chanted loud and we need to be initiated before we can even go for japa?
Yes, I mean, of course, you can chant any mantra, but when you do it after the initiation, it takes you into your meditative state. Just like before you got your Sahaj mantra, well, after you got your Sahaj mantra, it took you into a different state. So, or let me give a very simple example. You take a SIM card. Unless the SIM card is activated and linked to the mobile phone company, it is just a piece of plastic and some circuit. But when it gets linked, then it allows you to connect with the network. In the same way, the mantra is a vehicle, is a SIM card. But when the guru initiates and and offers it to you, it is as if the SIM card is activated and it allows you to connect to the network. And that's what the mantra really is. That's why, even though the mantra is the same, the SIM card looks the same, whether it's activated or not activated. Yet, an activated SIM card can connect to the network, and an inactivated SIM card is just a piece of plastic. It doesn't allow you to connect to anything. Though they both look the same, feel the same. In the same way, mantras, whoever chants them, it feels the same. Yet, when it's initiated, then it takes you much deeper inside. How
Thank
would I know which mantra is suitable for me at that point of time? That's what requires a guru. If you know it yourself, then you wouldn't ask this question. If you've asked this question, then go to someone who can answer it.
Also, there is the question: is the Om Namah Shivaya also this mantra also needs the initiation, or we can just chant Om Namah Shivaya?
Om Namah Shivaya is something that everyone can chant. What we will be teaching in the coming sessions, and we will be, I think we'll showcase all the ways in which you can learn different mantras. We are starting with a very, very simple yet effective mantra. I will not tell you what it is, but the way we are going to teach it, it's an ashtakam. It's 8 verses, but it's going to be taught over over 4 weekends, 8 sessions over 4 weekends. So 1 month we'll get to spend some time together, and we will go over the chanting. We will go over the meaning, and we'll see how we can connect it to the knowledge that Gurudev has given us. So this is something that we are looking forward to sharing with all of you, and we'll share the details about this at the end of this session.
Is there a mantra for the to where we can wish the better health of our family members?
Oh, there are no dearth of mantras. There is no shortage of mantras. There are so many mantras. But like I said earlier, maybe there are 50 different mantras which will help everything. But when that mantra is given to us by our guru, then it gets allows us to connect to something much deeper. That's why there are many people who can chant mantras perfectly. But when the energy of the guru is not there, then though you can hear the same chanting, yet it doesn't have the same effect. So that's why I would really advise. Of course, you can go on YouTube and there are 100 mantras to choose from. People will tell you, chant this mantra and this will happen. And of course, when you chant it with faith, something happens. But really, the science behind the mantra is something so much more subtle. Intention has power. Look at all our intentions. Even if I want to lift my hand, it starts with an intention and then my hand lifts. All the work that we do in our life, it all started as an intention. This laptop or this mobile device or whatever is there in front of you right now started off as an intention in someone's mind. So, in that sense, this whole creation starts off as an intention. And the intention of a very powerful person has such a big impact on existence. In the same way, the intention of the master has such an amazing impact on society. And that's why aligning our intention with the intention of the master makes the mantra powerful. It is not the mantra itself which has power, but it is the intention behind the mantra that gives it the power. It's like you have a car, but it's the energy in the car that actually makes it work. If you don't have gasoline, or if you don't charge your car, if it's an electric car, then you might have the best car in the world, but it's just sitting there like a rock. For it to move, it needs the power. And that's where the same mantra you can learn from different people, but know that the power of that person is what powers that mantra. And that's why when it comes to mantra, the key thing is to see where are you getting the mantra from. Does this make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, thank you so much. There is one more very good question, I guess. They are saying that they have done the Sahaj Samadhi meditation, so they have the Sahaj mantra. And if this
Mhm.
mantra is enough to get through the life, or we should learn different mantras from different platforms.
Absolutely. This mantra is more than enough for everything. But you know how the mind is? It says, I'm interested. So, all these mantras, if you ask me, is it necessary? I will say, absolutely not. Your Sudarshan Kriya, your Sahaj, or your Sayam, if you've done that, is perfect. Nothing else is needed in the world. Yet, so many of us are in love with mantra. When we hear the Rudram happening from the ashram, and it gives us such a great meditation. Maybe we hear different chants, and it feels, oh my God, this is such a beautiful. I wish I could do it myself. So it is to satisfy the impulse that arises in people. And it's a very natural impulse. When you go to when you see a chocolate ice cream, a chocolate cake, your mind says, oh, I want that chocolate cake. And that's normal. There's nothing wrong about it. And it's great hmm, to fulfill all these uplifting intentions that arise in us. So, wanting to learn mantras, there's nothing wrong. Do I need to learn mantras? Absolutely not. So, I would actually say, when it comes to like the Rudram, when someone else chants the Rudram and we meditate, we get the benefit of the Rudram. There's no need for us to learn to chant the Rudram. It's like the pilot flies the plane, but all the passengers reach the destination. So when it comes to a flight, a pilot can fly it and you can reach the destination. If it's your car, you can either have a driver drive it for you or you can drive it yourself. Maybe you enjoy driving, you like driving through I remember Badantogas and going through the amazing roads that led to the wonderful German ashram. And it was such a joy to drive to the German ashram. So maybe you like driving, you'll say, well, I don't need to drive, but I like to drive. So when it comes to a plane, a pilot flies it and you fly. When it comes to your car, either you drive it or you let someone else drive it. But if you have to walk to some place, if you have to walk a 10,000 steps to get your watch to give you a nice crown, then you can't say, I will let someone else walk for me. You have to do it yourself. So there are some mantras that are for you, like your Sahaj mantra. No one else can do it for you. There are some mantras that someone else can chant or you can chant, like the Devi Kavacham. If you like to chant, go ahead, learn it and chant. And there are some mantras that you don't need to learn to chant. They are like the plane, they take you much higher. The Rudram, someone else can learn and you can get the equal benefit. So, this is how the different types of mantras are there. And wanting to learn these mantras is by choice, not by force. Does this make sense what I'm saying?
So beautiful. Thank you, Swamiji. Actually, this was our next
Maybe
question.
maybe we can take some question from the other languages because you've been taking only the English ones. Some of the translators, I can see some Chinese and other language questions that are there.
Yes, I will translate those ones, but
Okay,
we have one more
sure.
question, Swamiji. Is it okay to play the chanting mantra throughout the night while sleeping? Like while going to bed, can I play some chanting and go to bed? Is that okay?
Mm, I will neither say it's okay, nor will I say it's not okay. I know for sure that some people recommend that, and there are some people who say it's not such a good idea. I would say mantra definitely has an impact on the subconscious. But for me, it's a personal thing. And if you have been recommended this by someone, please feel free to follow their recommendation. I will not step over someone else's authority. So if a Jyotish has told you do this, I will not say, hey, I know more than this Jyotish person. But there's one thing I can definitely say. In this world, there is nothing more uh, powerful than the the consciousness itself. And that's something that each one of us possesses. So just doing Sudarshan Kriya, just doing our meditation, I tell you, there's nothing more powerful. But learning mantras is something that is totally each one of our choice. And if you have listened to a lot of mantras and you want to learn to chant them, great. If you like listening to mantras and going to bed, great. I know for sure some mantras like the Samaveda is great to listen and go to bed.
And also there is we check the translate the different other language, but those are mostly remarks for the translation is working or not or related to translation.
Okay.
There are no question per se, but yes, our other participants from other countries are more than welcome to post the question in their language, and we will take them up. Meanwhile, Swamiji, what about the children? Like which mantra should be yes, there is now. Is the bhajan or the mantra chanting, is there any difference? Yog from China is
Mhm.
asking.
So definitely bhajans and mantras are mantras. A lot of times we use mantras in bhajans. Like Om Namah Shivaya is a mantra, but we also chant it as a bhajan. But there are some mantras that we don't chant as a bhajan. Like the Rudram is something that we don't chant as a bhajan. So a bhajan can be a mantra, but not all bhajans are mantras. So for example, we sing Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. That's a bhajan. So how would you say a mantra is a mantra? Well, there should be some Vedic reference where it is from, and that makes a mantra a mantra.
Thank you, Swamiji. There is one more interesting question. Like sometimes it
Mhm,
happens that we are driving for work or something and we have played a chanting and we reach,
mhm,
if there is no traffic, and we reach in time and we have to stop the chanting in the middle. So
mhm.
is it the disrespect to the mantra or is that fine? For example, if Rudram is getting played or other little bit longer ones.
Yeah. So if you're early, you might as well sit in your car and let the mantra finish. So make sure that you plan out your, especially the Vedic mantras, it's good to let them finish. But don't worry, there's no, it's not a, it's not something that will create problems for you if you cut it down halfway. But generally speaking, yes, it's a good way to respect the mantra by allowing it to complete fully. So, if you're driving to work and you want to listen to some mantras, I would suggest making sure that your mantra, the duration, does not exceed your driving time. And if you have a tendency to go into meditation listening to the mantra, then definitely don't do it while driving your vehicle yourself. So, in fact, listening to some knowledge is a better way to spend your drive if you're driving yourself. If you're not driving yourself and you want to meditate, then listening to mantras is a great way of spending your drive.
Thank you, Kashiji. Also, I'm not sure if it is related, but is the mantra, yantra, and tantra, is there some difference? Could you shed some light on it?
Gurudev has spoken about mantra, yantra, and tantra, and it's a very beautiful talk on YouTube. I would really suggest you go to Gurudev's YouTube channel and listen to that talk yourself. It's so nice, and I don't want to paraphrase it and take away the beauty of that talk. I would definitely say mantra is the vibration, tantra is the technique, and yantra is the diagram. So just like your SIM card has a circuit diagram, and that circuit diagram helps to channelize the energy in a certain way and make some things happen. So in the same way, the yantra is a circuit diagram. It moves the energy in a certain way and manifests certain impact of that. So that's the connection between tantra, mantra, and yantra. Tantra is often mistaken and used in a very different sense, but in Sanskrit, tantra literally means a technique. So every technique is a tantra.
Uh, One more question, Swamiji, regarding the Rudram chanting. Is it a good idea to play the Rudram chanting and meditate upon, or we can play it in the background and do the usual course like cooking or even working on a project, and at the background, Rudram chanting is being played. Is that okay?
Absolutely. That's like baking a very nice chocolate cake and then throwing it in the dustbin. The purpose of the mantra is to really take you into much deeper states of consciousness. So it's always a good idea, especially with the Vedic mantras, to meditate with the mantra. That's the right way to consume it. Let me give a simple example. Like you have a chocolate cake in front of you, you can see it and enjoy it. You can stick it to your cheeks, and that is touch is a way of experiencing the cake. Sight is a way of experiencing the cake. You can smell the cake, and that's another way of experiencing the cake. But the most enjoyable way of experiencing the cake is to put it in your mouth and eat it. So those other senses also give you some experience of the cake. The most appropriate way to experience the cake is by eating it. In the same way, listening also gives some experience of the mantra. Seeing some written text also gives some experience of the mantra. But the way to experience the mantra properly is to meditate. And that's why meditation is the right tool for us to experience a mantra.
Thank you so much. Um, Maybe one of the last few questions. Is there a good set of mantras or chantings for each day of the week?
Yes, of course. That's why different days are actually considered auspicious for different types of mantras. Like Monday is for Shiva, Friday is for Devi, and often you'll see in the ashram that on Mondays we do the Rudra Puja, on Fridays there is the Devi Puja. In fact, Vedic tradition also follows the lunar calendar. So there are 14 days of the fortnight, and there's something appropriate for different days of the fortnight too, not just the weekdays.
Also, Swamiji, there is a question because Gurudev gives so much emphasis on meditation and also mantras. Is there a sequence? Like, should we listen to mantras first and then follow it up with our Sahaj meditation if we have done Sahaj, or we should do the Sahaj and then listen to the mantras?
Both ways are appropriate, but usually meditation and then mantra. This is the recommended path. But you can also listen to a mantra and then slip into meditation. That's also okay. So both ways are fine, but usually dhyanam and then mantra starts. So first meditation and then mantra.
Uh, Last one, Swamiji. I think we are approaching the time now.
Mhm.
Is there a mantra which parents can use for the well-being of their children?
Yeah, it's called Jai Gurudev. So, you know what? A lot of times we ask a specific question in a very generic way. And then we ask generic questions in very specific ways. Both will not get the right answer. Every child is unique. Thinking that there's only one mantra for every child is actually disrespecting the uniqueness of every child. So it's a good idea. Of course, there are some mantras that are common. Like at the beginning of education, Vedic tradition says Gayatri mantra is the start of education. So getting the Gayatri is a great way to start education. So especially for children, I would recommend that. But more importantly, I think I would recommend the Art Excel and the intuition process, Medha Yoga and the uh, Utkarsh Yoga and all these wonderful courses that are there for children, because meditation is the basis, the foundation on which mantra works. And until we have a foundation, then the mantra will always be fakey. So For children, I would really suggest getting them to meditate together. Then, of course, they should learn some mantras. It's definitely going to help them and in their journey through life. So I know there are so many more questions, but I guess it's a good thing to end on time. We will continue having more sessions, and we are going to be starting chanting very soon. So, uh, is there some way that people can keep in touch and get news of when chanting courses are getting announced? Maybe we can share that right now. And Swami Jyotirmay ji or Swami Shuddha Chetan ji, anyone wants to add something, please feel free.
Thank you, Swamiji, for your time. Actually, that's the question we were getting in the chat, like which mantras are we going to start with and what's the significance? So it would be super helpful if you could share a few things about the Guru Paduka Strotam, which is the first chanting class which is going to offer all the internationals all over the globe. And why are we starting with Guru Paduka Srutam with not with none other, like why not with the other chantings?
That's a
Swami?
very good question. I would say that the choice of Guru Paduka Stotram is something that's close to all of our hearts. Guru Paduka literally means, as you can see on the screen, the the feet of the master. So, what do the feet of the master mean? Guru means that which brings light on that which is hidden. And Paduka, the feet signify walking, moving, the ability of a person to move from one place to the other is what the feet signify. So Guru Paduka literally signifies how can I use the grace of the master to move my life. And that's why for me, Guru Paduka Stotram is something that's such a powerful chant. And it allows us to feel that connection with the master. And it allows us to feel how we can keep moving ahead as we go through life. Now how we can channelize the energy of the master in our life. So I think this is such an appropriate um, stotram to start with, and this is for everyone to chant. And this is something that we'll be going through as we go forward. So thank you so much for having me on this wonderful session. I enjoy doing this, as you can see, and those who join on this session will be doing, like I said earlier, 4 weekends, 8 sessions, and we'll go over the Guru Paduka Stotram in 1 hour sessions. So thank you so much, Jai Gurudev. See you all sometime. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. And also, thanks to our translators and everybody who joined in. And once again, thank you for your time and guidance for that you took so many questions from us and gave us so much knowledge. Thank you. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.